All right, so we left off with trauma, and I know that it's been a couple of days since I've been on here or whatever, so I just really wanted to speak on that because I find oftentimes, okay, with having been the ward of the state not once but twice, and I make mention of that because oftentimes when you're coming out of trauma and when you're coming out of a abusive, traumatic family upbringing, I find that they don't always address the issues at hand. They're quick to medicate or band aid it, but they never get to the source. And I can just recall several times being with a psychologist, and they're quicker to prescribe medicines and give you a diagnosis before they actually get to the source, the root of the problem. And so that's why I feel that it's so important if we are able to identify what the source of the problem is. In some cases, I would like to make this statement. In some cases that we will have to consult a, a clinical psychiatrist, psychologist, someone from the medical field that can assist. This is not to diagnose. This is not to self-medicate. This is not to take place of any professional help. And I want to make mention to that and make that disclaimer because I don't want anyone out here self-diagnosing themselves and for liability reasons of them taking it upon themselves to treat themselves when they're not licensed to do that. And I will say right here that I am not licensed, and I want to make mention to that, and I want to make sure that that's clear. We're just simply saying that we can have an open discussion about things that need to be discussed. And anything that I share is of my personal opinion. And we can go from there. So if you feel that you need medical attention and if you feel that you need to consult a doctor, please do. Please feel free to. I, I recommend you to consult professional help if any of these videos is too much. You have a choice of not to watch them. You have a choice of not to follow them. This is just simply just to aid and hopefully steer you to begin to have the conversation and steer you in the right direction of the help that you need if it calls for it. And so my personal opinion, for me personally, is that with having been in a foster care agency multiple times, that once you term out, you're left not only with those issues, but you've aged out, you've termed out, and that's why studies have shown that there's a large percentage of um, the homeless population that consists of children who have termed out, who's aged out of the system, and they have nowhere to go because in most cases they've already been disconnected and have lost contact in some cases with family members, with their biological families. And so where do you go? And so there we have it. And so we pick up where we left off with trauma and just addressing with me sharing my own personal um, journey and situation and the hopes of helping people. Um, And I just wanted to make that disclaimer that none of these, again, as I repeat, none of these videos is to self-diagnose. None of these videos is to advise or recommend anyone to self-medicate or self-diagnose or take their treatment if it calls for it into their own hands.